Hi, my name is Vanessa van Dijk, and in this video we're looking into how you can use your thermal water, hyaluronic acid serum and or oil or moisturizer. Now, when working with those products, you primarily want to include your thermal water to achieve damp skin before applying your hyaluronic acid, oil and or moisturizer on top of it. And so what you need to understand is, first of all, when washing your face anyway with purely water or with a cleanser, your skin has already absorbed some water, and when removing the remaining water drops on the skin surface, this is how you achieve damp skin. So technically, including the thermal water in that specific routine is not needed. Then, of course, if you say, well, the thermal water does give me some benefits due to the antioxidants and minerals that it has, well, of course, you can go ahead and include it to your routine and kind of like use it like a toner step. But still, you need to understand that you do not need to apply your products to wet skin. There's a difference between damp and wet skin, and this is now what I'm trying to clarify. Therefore, I want to share with you a little demonstration so that you can see each step after the cleansing step, after the thermal water step, so that you then won't come across skincare peeling, dry or tight feeling, and overall creating a mess. Because when applying a hyaluronic acid serum, oil or moisturizer to wet skin, which is technically what most videos are showing us on social media, then this is where the problem lies in. And so therefore I want to clarify this and share with you a proper demonstration. Now, when doing this in your morning routine and or evening skincare routine, the first step that you're going to do is washing your face. Now, this may be in the morning with purely water, in the evening using a cleanser, so that you can properly remove any excess oil, dirt, sweat, and even maybe makeup and sunscreen from the skin. Now, when working with a cleanser, please make sure that you're using the right cleanser for your skin type, for your skin concerns, and that you're using the right cleanser if you have worn sunscreen and or makeup throughout the day to properly break it off. So first of all, if you're working with a regular cleanser, this may be a gel, foam, or even cream or milk-like cleanser. Usually those would be applied to wet skin and then you're going to rinse it off, whereas your oil or balm cleanser is being applied to dry skin and then you're going to rinse it off with water. So please always check the directions and based on that follow the steps. Nonetheless, there's always a rinse off part where you're going to wet your skin. And so I now want to share with you a little cleansing step demonstration, and then we're going to continue with the rest of the products above the sink. But of course, you can wash your face in the shower as well. Either way is fine. The outcome later on will be the same. This is where I want to keep my focus on. So go ahead, grab your cleanser if you wash your face with your cleanser, and then based on that, follow the directions to wash your face. So let's go ahead and do this. Use about the palm of your cleanser on the palm of your hand. Rub your hands together and then gently massage it all over your face and neck for about 30 seconds to a minute. So and once you have massaged your cleanser all over your face and neck, you now can go ahead and rinse it off again with lukewarm water to warm water. And so when doing this above the sink, you can get most of it off at first with your hands, but then I highly recommend working with a makeup cloth, those microfiber cloths, wet them in between, and this can help you to properly remove any last traces of your cleanser, sunscreen and or makeup. This may not be needed in the shower, but above the sink, this is a really great tip that I can share with you. So while I was now washing my face, my skin was able to already absorb some water. And now all the water drops that are still left on the skin surface is the excess water that the skin cannot absorb. And so if your main goal is to achieve damp skin, this right now, right here, refers to wet skin. So to achieve damp skin, you're going to take your clean towel and gently pat all over to remove the remaining water drops or the excess water drops that the skin could not absorb from the skin. And so once you have done this now refers to damp skin, and your skin is going to basically keep the dampness for several minutes. So now, if your main goal is to apply your hyaluronic acid and or maybe your moisturizer or oil on damp skin, now would be the time to apply to damp skin. But of course, if you want to basically include the thermal water into your routine as well, because it's giving you benefits like due to the antioxidants or even minerals, it helps to calm the skin, well, now you can go ahead and include it, even though it's not really necessary if you just want to achieve the dampness, because you have already achieved the dampness. So this is basically an optional step. Still, if you want to include it, you now can go ahead, grab your thermal water, and then spray it all over your face and neck. And then give it about maybe 1 to 2 minutes so that it somewhat can absorb into the skin, even though it may not be a lot because your skin has already absorbed some water while you were washing your face. And then again, with all the water drops that are still left on the skin surface, you need to pat them off. So again, then take your towel and gently pat all over to remove the remaining water drops from the skin surface. So you're going to do this after your cleansing step, and you're going to do this after you have spritzed the thermal water all over your face and neck. And so once you're done with removing the remaining water drops from the skin surface, your skin is damp, and now you can move on to the next step, which if you want to include your hyaluronic acid serum or your oil or moisturizer, I'm just now going with an example. It mostly refers to hyaluronic acid, so I'm just going to grab a hyaluronic acid serum. This can be any hyaluronic acid serum, and then apply it on top of basically the skin, and your skin is going to remain damp for several minutes. So you can basically immediately do this afterwards and then blend it all over your face and neck. This way you're making sure that you're applying the hyaluronic acid on damp skin and not on wet skin. And this really can make a huge difference based on how it layers and how it absorbs into the skin, because then you won't come across that tight or dry feeling, you won't come across skincare pilling, because it's not going to mix with the water that's on the skin surface because you have properly removed it. And so now you can stop right here, or if you have other skincare products that you want to include, or maybe just immediately move on to your oil or moisturizer, it still would be the same thing, that you now can layer it on top, or just instead of using hyaluronic acid, you just want to follow immediately with your oil or moisturizer. Well, the same thing, you're going to apply to damp skin, and then there you have it. So you do not necessarily need to include the thermal water if you want to achieve damp skin. You are basically achieving this already while you're washing your face. But of course, in that specific sense on how the thermal water was supposed to be used, like back then, you only had thermal water as well as a very a traditional moisturizer, which usually would seal it very well. Nowadays, moisturizers can be quite lightweight and some are a bit richer, but back then you really had kind of like a heavy cream, like a moisturizer. And so the way on how you would use the thermal water is basically in between. So throughout the day, whenever you experience dry skin, you went to the bathroom, you used the thermal water so that the skin could absorb some water, you would tap off the excess, and then you would seal it with your moisturizer to lock in moisture. But nowadays, with the more newer products, with all those ingredients that you can use to calm, hydrate the skin and to treat specific skin concerns, this is kind of not necessary anymore, and it's kind of difficult to include based on that most treatments already include water anyway. So there's a bit of confusion going on what refers to damp skin, when it's actually wet skin, what refers to dry skin, and if you really need to apply specifically your hyaluronic acid to damp skin. So if you want to see a more in-depth video on how you're going to use your hyaluronic acid and see the research behind it, I've done a very in-depth video on this, which I'm going to leave at the end of this video. But with this little demonstration, I do want to share with you that you always need to remove the remaining water drops on the skin surface. Doesn't matter if it's after your cleansing step or after you have applied your thermal water all over your face and neck. Remove the remaining water drops on the skin surface and you won't come across skincare pilling and uncomfortable feeling like dry or tightness, or even a very smeary or creating a mess on the skin itself when doing your skincare routine. Now this is what I want to primarily share with you. I do hope that you enjoyed this video and that you find it helpful. If you did so, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up as well as share it. And I will see you soon in the next one. Happy skincaring. Bye.